blew me away, just like when everybody finally got to see it. It's still blowing people away today as a cult favorite and just a visual phenomena. I've always been attracted to Masamune Shirow's work, and was one of the first people to deal with Masamune Shirow in the United States, and have been fortunate to work on his other projects, Black Magic M66. I grew up reading Philip K. Dick and science fiction, and which finally developed into a cyberpunk movement with William Gibson, and it was just, I was very primed for it, because I knew everything that was going to happen in the future because of these fine writers. Very complex. I mean, that thing kicked my butt sometimes working on it, just trying to get my mind around how to do things and how to cast it and how to have the translation of it and how to make sure people understood. And especially with the Touchcoma dialogue, which I really enjoy, because they're talking about books from my collection, like Flowers from Algernon, and you know, and high-level psychology, Indo-Russian-Chinese environment that doesn't exist yet, with you know, people fighting over islands and governments stabbing each other in the back, and the mafia's involved, and the place names were so complex because they'd be Korean but translated by Japanese, and so the original Koreans kind of lost the pronunciation, and then all of the Russian dialogue, and you'd have a lot of Russian spies and things, and it was very difficult for all of the actors to pronounce those terribly long, difficult Japanese names. And poor the actor who plays Chief Aramaki, sometimes had to do those simple lines with just one foreign word in him. I had to do them like 20, 40 times, and I felt so horrible putting this old man through these just terrible hoops, and he would get so frustrated because he's such a perfect actor, as you all well know, but he really had to struggle with that, and did the whole cast. I found Mary one day, I don't remember how, and she was just perfect for the role.
Well, I had been acting and directing for Zero Limit Productions for a number of years, and when they heard that Ghost in the Shell had a series coming out, they said, "We want you to play it." So I don't think they even, maybe speaking out of turn, but I'm not sure that they had auditions. I think I just sort of came in and we recorded some, and then they sent it off and said, "That's it."
I was in the original Ghost in the Shell movie, actually. I came and auditioned for Kevin Seymour, and happily got the part of Bato, and I've been playing him ever since, and really loving it and enjoying it, and hope I go on playing him forever. Bato is a very cool character. I like him a lot. He's a tough guy. He's a take charge kind of guy, and he's got a really good heart too. And he's very intelligent. He's a big, intelligent guy, which I like, and he's got a great sense of humor. And there's a real sweet side to him. But he's tough as nails, and he doesn't take crap from anyone.
She's a veiled character overall. I think she's very difficult to understand, and she is so hard and so straight-laced and just hard-assed, basically. But as, you know, you sort of start to peel away the layers of her, you realize that there's so much more going on underneath her, and that there's a real passion to try and figure out who she is. And sometimes I think she doesn't even know what she wants. She dives into the net for years to try and find something, you know, and I think all along she was really just looking for Bato, to be honest, and that relationship that they have.
The most interesting thing to me in the movie, especially the first movie, was that Bato really fell in love with her. I think he really fell in love with her, and it was really kind of unrequited.
There has to be an inner life to a character, and that's what you search for. And from at least my experience, anime is all subtext and emotion.
Yeah, that's true.
So you get these kind of characters where Bato actually is very emotional, but Motoko isn't. So what's underneath all of this? She was human once, so what happens when that humanity is stripped away from you? What does it do to a person?
There's a lot of thought that goes behind this stuff, and there's a lot of layers to both of these characters that's really fascinating. And I think that's what makes it so interesting. If it was just a straightforward kind of shoot 'em up, it would have limited appeal, but I think because there is so many layers to all this stuff, and it hits you on so many different levels, I think that's what makes it so interesting.
It was very hard to figure out with the whole setup with the kidnapped children, and it was a little complex to figure out which government branch was messing with which other government branch who was not really that person who they think they are, and they were really in the body and died years ago. So it was a very complex story.
I know as far as the story challenges, it had to do a lot with what's going on in Japan right now, with the aging senior population in Japan. The other thing is the population decreasing in Japan as well. So we had to kind of keep that in mind.
今日本では少子化と高齢化がすごく大きな問題になっていて、要するにその少子化が進めば将来はその高齢社会を支える子どもたちがいないということで、そうするとメディケアの問題とかそういうものがすごく今危惧されてる、心配されてるんですよ。政治的にもその問題をとにかく何とかしようということで今大きな課題になっている問題なので、だから日本でもゴーストを見る人、社会現象を分かっててそれを見る人は何かこれじゃいけないんだって問題意識を持ったりすることができたんじゃないかと思うし、それが神山監督の、ある程度のその映画をソリッドステートを作るにあたっての意図だったんじゃないかなっていうふうに私は解釈してるんですけど。
I think with Motoko, it's a lot of what we talked about is that she had been gone for so long and searching for something, and we don't really find out until the end. And she's been doing her own investigations, independent of Section 9, and searching for something. And at the end, she comes back. I think she comes back to Section 9 at the end. It's undetermined. I would like to see the two of them in a situation that they couldn't get out of, and they're sort of forced to confront each other.
But it would be interesting to know where she has been exactly and
Yeah.
what she's been doing exactly.
Because we kind of know, but we have no idea how it's affected her or anything else.
And is she still being paid by Section 9 and why she's running around the internet, or is she freelance, or what's the deal?
Freelance.
She always shows up at the end and helps them out, and I don't know. Does she bill them for that? Does she invoice them for that?
Yes.
I'd like to know these
They ask her for a
questions.
bid, actually.
I think the fan base in Ghost in the Shell is expanding. I mean, just like it says, it's the net. It's this huge web that just keeps growing and growing as more people are involved. They're gonna say, what is this show? And it'll increase the audience base. And as far as how it's affected things here in the States, you had the Matrix movie, you had lots of other movies which I've seen influences of Ghost in the Shell. So it's expanded other mediums as well.
I can't imagine, but I'm sure it'll always be inventive and way ahead of its time.